We can edit that. All right.
Music.
Alright, so welcome to Bloodlords.
There we go.
Last time you had infiltrated the Crooked Coffin, where you had known the Three-Fingered Hand Gang to have their headquarters in Grey Dirge, at least their temporary headquarters. And you, after a bloody fight, rescued a prisoner there, a minister of the Celebrants. You found the sanctum of Capkida the Hagnailed, the one you had heard quite a few things about, the boss seemingly of the Three-Fingered Hand Gang. After a bloody fight with her and her haunted cauldron, you managed to finish her and put a stop to her plans. You found her actual magical sanctum with some reagents and items in there, and you escorted her final prisoner, a woman from the Export Guild, outside. And yeah, let's begin when you guys leave the Crooked Coffin.
Wait, so the prisoner told us some interesting stuff, right? There was something about a hag group or stuff.
Yeah, so the prisoner is named Altinmaret, and she had a deal with Capega, or at least she thought she did, where she would give information about the dealings of the Export Guild in Grey Dirge, how the farms work and stuff, for gaining access to a coven called the Graveclaw. And this coven was led by, she was told, Capkida's mother.
Just finds basically Frog Marcher to what's her name?
Bloodlord.
Belina? Yeah. So outside of the coffin, it's eerily quiet. Seemingly everybody who may have heard activity has made their way to safety. And the Altinmaret, similar to when you found her, she is extremely tired. You can see like a broken energy behind her eyes, and she doesn't resist you guys escorting her. And you head over to Berlin.
State.
On the map. Yes. So Haldoli's estate towards the south. It's not that far of a walk. It's like 10 minutes. Yes, and you ring the archway, and you see a walk up is the servant ghoul. Greetings. You have returned. Always a pleasure. And he doesn't even wait for an explanation this time, as he regards the prisoner and starts walking you over towards the actual manor.
Yeah.
And probably a head hanging from my throat.
Yeah, I have a head as well hanging from my
Oh yeah. So you cut off the head and you put it on your belt. That's metal as shit.
They requested a head, so we have a head.
She did indeed request
I'm sure they
it.
meant it literally,
Yeah. Of course.
We are
Yeah,
the group.
You're being led in towards the into the house, towards past the dinner chambers, into a small office where you see Berlina behind some documents. She actually is wearing some small spectacles, giving her an much more aged look than you're used to. And compared to the day that you guys have had, this the Bloodlord seems to have had a very quiet, bureaucratic day. It's a stark contrast. As you enter bloodied and dirty. She looks up and says, "Oh, hello there." Kind of eyes the guest and eyes the state. Well, you certainly have a story to tell. And points to
I remember you requested a
could
head.
Yeah, you just lift the head a little bit.
Yeah.
There would be the head of the Capkida, one behind all these troubles.
I must say, I like the way we're getting introduced.
You did request her head, so you have it.
I'm sure we can preserve it somehow. Now, please come in. Have a seat. Tell me of your efficient ways of dealing with this lady. Yes, this lady.
Yes. She had taken, as we told you quite briefly before, she had taken the brewery, whatever, like Roland is the name of the brewery, I couldn't remember what that was. As her...
Good coffee.
Yeah, that place. As her hideout, we assaulted it, dealt with the numerous undead and other enforcers that she had. Oh yeah, do remind me that there's a small trouble that left that we didn't deal with because we didn't have to. It's a possible future trouble, probably for Down Guard or something like that.
Yes, a quick coffin. Well, I have some people clean it up.
Yes, there's. Do watch out for the green. Do tell them to watch out for the green in the big casks. There.
Yes, of course. They'll be careful. There's usually remnants still about. The organization, unfortunately, doesn't quite die when you cut off the head. So,
yes.
We'll make sure we deal with the infestation once and for all.
Over there, we freed a casual random prisoner from another organization. See, I'm right out his name. Huh.
You remember it was Minister Semoget.
A minister from what was killed? Like the guild.
The Celebrants.
Okay, a minister from Celebrants that had just unfortunately ran into the bar and been taken as a hostage. No more a random coincidence than anything to do with this particular matter.
A hostage of the Celebrants couldn't be very useful. They're usually dim-witted and full of their own lies.
Indeed.
Don't tell them I said that.
I will leave it out if we do meet again. Then next up we found the back room where we found the Caltron filled with horrible curses. Haunts, one could call it. And Capkida herself. After a bit of a tussle, we defeated her and dealt with the Cauldron. Her former, as soon as she went down, her former coven members apparently rose to life from nearby. We had to deal with them as well before they fed her to the Cauldron. Bunch of that's a quite simple matter. Apparently she had destroyed their coven or something like that.
Delicious.
Yes. After dealing with that, we found her from nearby. This is the Altimeran, right? This person?
Yeah.
We found Altimeran in a prison cell in Capkida's room. Not in great.
Yeah, you see her still like standing like in a corner, covering, trying to cover her body with her arms, just looking down at the ground. Well, that certainly must be dealt with.
If you were looking for the one who had fed the hag wannabe the information about.
Yeah, she as you're saying that, she like lowers her hand as if to stop talking. Says, well, we'll deal with it. Don't you worry, honey. And says, now it appears I must be getting to work after you have so efficiently dealt with the problem. It seems I'll look into any information. Shh. he might have, and inform the people that need to be in the know about what you have done. Then we can discuss your earned rewards, and I'll let you know what the further steps might be in this regard. That sound fair to you? She kind of looks at you one by one.
Yeah, I just kind of look back at her with a tired look.
Mhm.
Like there's
That-
understand
that
there's
does-
not really any discussion to
That
have.
works out for us.
Let's take some rest. You've definitely earned it. You know, maybe go back to the manor, clean it up some more, improve the kitchen as we talked about.
Yes. Well, we don't need to do the clean. We have a servant for that.
Oh.
Maybe more work.
Really getting
more
into the
food.
spirit of being higher ups in Gav. Well done. Now, if you don't mind me, she actually stands up. Doesn't get much elevation as she's a halfling. Starts going around her desk towards the prisoner or like guest Altimerat. Holds her by the hand and says, "Now, dear, you look like you could use a cup of coffee. We have so much to talk about." And she escorts her like down the hallway. And you can see appearing in the doorway is the head servant again, escorting you out of the grounds.
Yeah, I just leave the head in the room, not in any specific place.
You
I
just-
just fucking leave it there.
Nice.
That's just okay.
Yeah, you can see it's already like pooling some blood on the desk, but
I mean, blood is just nice ornament.
yeah.
Yeah.
And where do you guys go?
I go head back to the manor.
Yes, manner it is.
All right.
Recovered you.
Let me.
I guess we could sell our treasure as well.
Yeah, we should we could sell our treasure. What treasure do we have?
We actually head back.
I'll say we will be entering a little bit of downtime when nothing immediately will be
happens.
required of you.
I mean, I think the next thing we're doing right is like we're just going to rob the bank, rest of the bank, right?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility for sure.
A second, I still have an unusual object on me.
Yeah, I also have an unusual object, so I guess I don't know. I go straight back to manor when I get there.
Yeah, I have an unusual ring,
Yeah.
unusual dagger here. Like we have some.
Yeah, we have
liquids,
unusual
like-
things to
Okay.
check over. I'm gonna
So
go
unusual,
to
these
our
things.
It's not
swappies
unusual.
chest.
I'm
How much
gonna-
did we get for the bow? That
And do we
guy?
need RP selling like the gemstones, or can we convert them to gold?
No, you can just like sell them, yeah. The Bodak eye, I'll say, if you're going to a jeweler and show it to them, they actually will also take it instead of like a rare ingredient as a normal gem because it looks like a black what do you call it?
Onyx
opal.
gemstone?
Onyx gemstone, exactly.
Yeah.
But they'll
Okay, so
they'll
normal
take that
onyx.
for the same price as well. Yeah.
Okay,
so
we probably
six
don't.
on this
I don't
one,
think
six.
we want to
Another
sell it.
16.
We don't want to sell it? Okay.
Because we have rituals, we should look at those rituals, right? Like if there was a Bodak ritual, we could make a Bodak.
Rituals? What do you mean by we have them?
We have.
Yeah, you
scrolls,
did
like-
find some rituals in Campigos as sent them, or it's like written or like etched into human skin.
Yeah, yeah. In my idea.
And then you head back to the man.
I feel like
yeah,
we did not get 16 gold for the last one, but I don't remember how much we got.
We
for
sold
the-
No,
it
you,
was-
yeah, you sell it as a reagent, which fluctuates in price a lot more.
An idiot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we can maybe buy it back if we need one. If we're good luck.
I think
Yeah, it's
ritual
just,
wise, you would know what they're trying to do. I don't think there doesn't appear to be like something stopping you from like knowing the ritual.
Oh, I saw these anyway for Gifted Mitzvah when you first picture. They look familiar.
Yeah, so they appear to be like the rituals that she used to create her undead army.
Nice,
As you
nice.
read it over. Okay, and you were trying
Is there
to
a
identify
specific
the
like
other.
in-game ritual?
Yeah, great on that.
Yeah, so there's great undead for different types of undeads. And she.
What
you
undeads
can-
are there? In
You
this
found
right now?
you found zombies and crawling ants.
Rituals create undead. Oh, let's see.
Can you put them
here.
like in swappies, I guess, so we just like always see
Yeah.
what rituals we have available? Since
So
those
you
are kind of
need
awful.
2 magic casters to do it.
You do. Why?
Yeah, you need one secondary
You
caster.
don't have to be a caster to aid on a ritual.
Oh, okay. You need one and then one other person. One magic caster.
No,
and one-
even the primary caster doesn't have to be a caster person.
Oh.
Rituals are different.
Yep.
Okay, you
Yeah.
need 2 people then.
You just have to, like,
You're
provide
just
something, yeah.
Trained in the. I mean, you still need.
yeah, expert
trained
in
the
one of
system.
those. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
rituals
or
are explicitly in order to get magical effects or more powerful magical effects for people that don't have access to them. But it takes a lot longer to.
Or like for
Yeah,
casters to get more powerful things done.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's for anyone to do it. It's not only exclusive. It's just
Yeah.
people who get more
I'll
power.
say that-
Crow is thankfully trained in every like knowledge, so
You need to be an expert.
There's
Yeah,
a
you'd
there's
be
a couple
an
of
to be
alchemical liquids in here. So I'll say that you, as part of the shopping, you had those identified for. This would be, let's say, 1 gold.
sure.
So you have
I'll
some.
lose a goal from us.
Yes. You have some antidotes and some smoke sticks, which are these, these dark, almost like wooden sticks, but very brittle that you can like break, and then a cloud of smoke appears. Yeah, there's
Does
this
the
one like
ritual
magical.
cost include the black onyx, or is that on top of the black onyx?
Wait, what?
Oh, the rituals had a bad
On the
onyx,
create
isn't it?
undead, it's like cast 1 day, cost black onyx, see with that 1 secondary cast, and then there's also a table that, depending on the level of undead, it has a cost as well.
Yeah, it's on top of the cost of it, then, I guess. But if it doesn't have a cost associated with it, it's just like a material component, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be. They are consumed, I believe. And you also do see, going over the ritual, that's almost like jotted down next to like the primary steps is Kapkida's handwriting in Necrol, hypothesizing about the theory that the Bodak Eye would be a more powerful reagent than a normal onyx gem. Let's see, and there's also one magical liquid that someone could try and identify.
We're all gonna try to identify everything, so just put up
Okay.
the things in the chat. And
Wait.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Should one time AD, but Jack could remember which one's which.
Ooh.
Oh, we just revealed the ring.
Oops.
I did.
Wrong one.
What's my skill again? What am I good at? Nothing. Good.
Yep, same.
So Ostian, you're not successful.
Benny?
With any.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, so,
my go. My go.
Well, let's see. Crow first. Crow, you are immediately successful in identifying this magical liquid. It's like this very cloudy, like swirling, like a very light mass as you like move it around, and you find that it is a oil of weightlessness. So you can spread the oil around an item of 1 bulk or less to make it feel weightless. So it's very handy for transport. Ostian, you're having a lot of trouble. Maybe your mental capacity has been strained today.
How am I meant to know about this stuff? I was in a cave until like 2 weeks ago. Like, how the fuck would I have learned this, you know?
But you are eventually successsul with the flute that Walker has grabbed. You kind of like hear over this now ethereal flute. And yeah, maybe you're familiar with it because you've seen bards annoy you with it. It is a maestro's instrument.
What that means.
It means they have advantage on their performances, and there's a little added
A
benefit.
little bit
as
of
well.
charming. A little bit of charming.
A little bit charming, yeah.
It's only that's at the DC 17, so it's like full
Also,
skill low.
it says you play the instrument, and that's impossible because I don't have any lungs. So not very useful. Yeah, I mean, Ocean, I guess, mentioned it, but doesn't seem very interested. Like, placing all of the bar.
Can I play? Because I'm a ghost. Does that work? Is that weird?
Make it into a ghostly one, and I'm sure you can play.
I mean, it
I
currently
think
is
it's already
ghostly.
a ghost.
Oh, it's a ghostly one.
Yeah, because I've had it. Yeah.
I'll say because of the magical effects. Yeah, you try to put it to your mouth. Oh, no, there's a clarinet. Oh, yeah, you put it to your mouth, and yeah, so it's kind of similar to what you heard the undead like play this weird high pitched, almost vibrating noise echoes. Well, no, that's just like testing the holes in the sounds. If you want to try and make a song out of it, definitely roll me performance.
Charm once a day. I can also do charm once a day now.
You're as useful as a flute.
Yeah, but it's DC 20 instead of 70.
Oh, you're like a
Guys,
That is all better.
this guy trying to one up me here.
such a better flute you are.
And it's
I
also
think that-
visual instead of
I
auditory.
think some classes like Thaumaturge, maybe Thaumaturge gets a feat related that asks you
Oh,
the
yeah, I need to
skills
change that,
items
actually.
with level or your class level. If I remember correctly.
None of the others you managed, Echo?
Yeah, well, you're not too much interested in the other items, but this ring, it's quite pretty, you know. It's made out of like this dull gold, but it has a certain charm to it. It's quite hefty, and you spend some time with it, and you do figure out this is probably the item that Capkita used to throw her voice, and you figure out it's a ventriloquist's ring.
Okay.
You see, oh, it says here it's made out of copper, my bad, yeah, dull copper.
No gold? Oh, it's copper. But
Yeah. Miniature images of songbirds engraved around its circumference.
oh, you could. It's some
Oh, ventricle is a cool thing.
Going around with the whole party, succeeding in one thing, you've identified everything at this point.
But do you know
It's
any of the
Daggers, at
dagger?
least.
Dagger hasn't been.
Oh, the dagger, yeah, I missed the dagger, exactly.
If
Yeah,
no one
nobody...
is-
I
that
definitely want this.
Crow can still try.
Okay, yeah, I'll repost the skills.
Yeah,
for you.
we
Plus the ring.
My mouse doesn't
okay.
click, so it's not a second.
It's +1 to deception.
Yeah.
I use deception as
I mean, I think everyone uses deception.
well. Everyone
What's
uses.
your deception modifier?
Okay, it might be worse than you because what are you charisma? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm maxed out charisma. Ian is maxed
Yeah,
out charisma.
I'm 9 deception.
Yeah, my deception right now is 11, and it's trained. It's gonna be. It's gonna like go to expert next and green high.
How do you have a +1? Oh, because you're Regalia.
My thing, my regalia.
Regalia stack. Yeah, that's not an item bonus, is it?
Yeah, regalia is an item bonus. Be sure
I
to
didn't
check.
even click deception.
Regalia is
Status.
circumstance.
Circumstance, interesting.
Interesting.
Suck.
I mean, it makes sense because it's circumstantial when I have it.
You can't aid you with these things. Crazy.
Technically, everything is circumstantial if you think about it. But yeah, Crow, you identify the dagger.
I do
It's-
already
it
have a
seems to be
success
very-
bonus lie as well, so with deception.
Mhm. It seems to be a very strange item. It's this long, serrated, dark blade that she used. You know, you wouldn't think that Capkita was very, martially inclined. But yeah, as you try and identify it, it seems like this is probably something that would aid her in creating undead. Like you're pretty sure that if someone were to be struck by this, embedded by this dagger, a live subject, they would slowly start turning undead. Like the life force would just drain from them, and it would almost automatically set in process the animating.
Oh, thank God, the road didn't take the snap.
Be crazy.
Can you reveal it? I don't want to read it.
I am also interested in
Maybe
maybe
that's secret subject. Secret subject.
Yeah, you didn't quite pierce everything, so I can't reveal the
Okay.
item yet. I'm sorry.
Well, that is an interesting dagger. We need more research on that one.
Click on the
It
button
can
as well.
create. It can be used to create undead.
I didn't click yet.
Oh, you didn't click it? Click it.
Didn't click it yet. I clicked it now.
You need more investigating.
Yeah, so as he says that, you like
I
look it
only
over and
Oh no.
Yeah, Walker, you look it over. You look at Crow. You're like, what the hell is this he's smoking? I mean, the dagger looks kind of, dark and evil, but this is just a powerful, but a regular striking dagger.
What's wrong with you guys?
Seems like my knowledge on these
Watch
matters.
me.
The only way you can make an undead with this dagger is to stab him and then bring him back.
Perhaps my knowledge of
Same as any.
ritual daggers is not as strong.
It's
as
still
others.
striking,
I
you
think
know.
you would need some more researching and studies.
Yes. Well, striking runes would be extremely useful on our weapons, mine or mice. I guess we can, with the remaining money, buy the other rune.
That can also be
If we
true.
wish.
Okay. Yes, and do you want to take today to like rest up, or do you want to head back into city at one point?
Yeah, rest
Two
up.
hours, I guess.
Makes
for
I
that.
mean,
sense,
Yeah, like maybe we shop at some point, like figure out what we do want to do.
What do we want to do
Mhm.
about the prisoner downstairs?
Yes, that is a great question. I am fine with having a living servant, but I believe you guys prefer an undead one.
I do not particularly wish for a servant of any kind, but I do not want someone walking around my room who is sentient.
Walker, my thoughts.
I'd rather prefer a servant who wouldn't be able to betray us.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Well, I suppose we do small party democracy usually, so then that matter seems to be quite settled.
Okay. We can just tell him to stop feeding her and we'll raise her when the time comes.
Yes, wouldn't be though a lot more quicker if we just let them get them quicker and then raise them.
Do we want to raise? Do we have them? Do we want to raise them immediately?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Sion
Yeah.
spends a day trying to recover some of his like mental energies. 'Cause there's a lot of it. Kind of like meditates a bit. He pulls out some like bones he had in like the cave when he like first left. You know, like the original bag, and just like kind of stares deep into like skulls and similar, and just tries to just regain his focus.
Okay.
Oh, so great.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, anime.
Nice.
Fantastic animated, yeah, you can just
Oh yeah, the
give me a drop down.
create a
stuff.
new module for that. Yeah, accepts. Look at this.
Oh shit. Oh my god, let's go.
But there's no undead. There we go. Oh, and then he fucking appears.
Adventure, so you guys mentioned the hand briefly. You don't see them anywhere right now.
Oh, the hand isn't anywhere.
No. Well, you haven't like really looked around, but yeah,
Okay.
you
I mean,
haven't
at
come
some
to
point, I
greet
saw
you.
a discussion. If the hand hasn't come to greet us, go looking.
Okay. You see the bedrooms have been cleaned, but no sign of him. But then you head over towards the basement stairs, and you actually hear noises of talking, like dialogue.
Okay, Crow sneaks up on this dialogue.
Okay, give me a check.
Fall down the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, you've taken off your shoes. Your feet are quiet on the stone steps. And as you head down, you hear a female voice saying, "Yes, I don't know. It just feels like my entire world has been turned upside down. Like I've been like a thread has been cut, and now I'm free to do whatever I want. But I don't know if I enjoyed the work I was in before, but maybe I did. It did give me purpose. But the knowledge that I've been betrayed by everybody that I thought I knew and loved. And you hear another voice. Yes, trust and loyalty is the most important thing of all. You seem powerful and strong, young lady. You must use this in your future forward to face your problems head on. And as you get down to the bottom of the stairs, you see the hand opposite a now freed Three Fingers member, like leaning against one of the walls. And she's like mindlessly turning like a key, like a second copy of a key that fits to the jail cell. Yeah, they don't seem to notice you yet.
Okay. Crow, takes a step to the side and continues to monitoring the discussion. Waits for opportune time to walk to their vision.
Okay, yeah, no, they seem completely oblivious. And they go into this discussion about, well, mostly it's Argon talking, speaking of his position as a general, facing very many assassination attempts, betrayals, that he needed to find the people he could trust most on the battlefield, and yet he was stabbed in the back. But even with the blade in his back, he would face his betrayers down and then cut them right where they stood. Yeah, but they don't seem to be in any hurry until Cecile says, well, could I maybe get some tea, calm the nerves down? And Argon says, of course, and turns around, and then both of them notice you just like leaning there, observing them.
Crow is like, at that point, it's like taps with his cane on the ground. It's like, well.
Hi.
Hello there.
He kind of like makes a step towards the stairs, and then
Crow
step backwards towards the jail. What should we do about this?
Maybe you explain what's happening here, and then we'll see what we do about it.
Well, Master, of course, I was observing a prisoner, made sure she was well fed, and diligently watched that she wouldn't cause any problems. Talking, I realize this is a very troubled young woman, but with a will that could be useful in our household. So I offered her a position beneath me. You explained that I could have servants beneath me, as I'm a head servant, of course, and I feel Cecile would be a perfect candidate.
I see.
Yeah, she like scratched the back of her head.
So why does she have
we
the
hit it off.
key?
Oh, it was just, something to play with.
I see. Can I have it back?
She kind of like dreads where this is going, but yeah, she puts it in your hand.
Thank you. Now, let me be quite clear here. Yes, you may have servants underneath you, but before you are to acquire any of them, you are to speak to us. And get a permission from at least one of us on that matter, preferably from a majority of us.
Surely Argon the Annihilator, general of the wastes of carnage, has some decision making on his own.
Yes, if we deem and agree that this is appropriate. We hadn't discussed this matter. You could have requested this power, and we could have rendered you. In this case, we had specifically wanted to keep her as a prisoner until we had dealt with the matter that was
Um,
going.
As you
Could
say that,
you-
Cecile speaks up and says, speaking of, did you get any more prisoners?
We'll let you know about that matter shortly, if we deem so. Now, with this turn of events, I believe we have some discussion to do upstairs with the rest of our crew. Let's start with Cecile. Like you, for now, it is preferable to stay in yourself. We will, since that is what we assumed your position to be, and then
Yeah.
we will discuss your future. You believe you will be fine with working for us, you say?
Well, I think so. I mean, depending on the line of work, I suppose. I'm not sure if I could be that useful. I'm mostly used to mercenary work. You know, infiltrating, killing, stealing, things like that.
I see.
If
Well,
you provide that line of work and hopefully pay well, of course.
I see. Well, we'll take this into account in our discussion.
I'll let myself back in.
Yeah, well, you don't have the keys, so someone has to lock it. Let's go down there. Deal
Kind of
with that matter.
sighs and rolls her eyes as you mention that fact. Yeah, but you put her back in her cell. Arkan, despite his protestations, almost like a defeated dog, just like stays there but doesn't say anything, and you head back upstairs.
Arkon, do follow me upstairs.
Of course, yes. He-
Could you be stay in the kitchen for a moment? We will request you to discuss on this matter in a short moment.
Yes, can I provide drinks, perhaps, for a celebratory return?
That you may.
Yeah. He goes over to the kitchen.
Then Crow walks back to the crew, probably like starting to go wherever they go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, seems we have more to discuss on the matter of our prisoner. Us figuring out where our grand servant is. I stumbled upon a scene downstairs where our dear prisoner was free. They were having a discussion, a chat. The matter being that Argon was trying to convince them of loyalty and such matters. Apparently, upon intruding on this discussion eventually, they told me that Argon had apparently convinced her to join us as join as a servant underneath him.
I'll
Or at
say,
least that's the
Crow,
thought.
as she said that she would be willing to work for you,
Mhm.
you get the impression that that wasn't her first
Okay.
thought or wish. That was mostly what she
Okay.
was saying, probably to get on Arkan's side.
Okay. At least that's what Argon thought on the matter.
It feels like more she convinced him.
Let us kill
Yes.
her, and she will no longer be.
Yes, that seems to be
Indeed.
the
Best way?
more likely scenario. Now, this question, I already told Argon that he shouldn't make a decision like this without talking to at least one of us. Do you have anything to add on that matter?
You handled it pretty well.
If he does it again without talking to any of us, I may as well rip him to shreds.
You shouldn't mention that to him, though, because then you can't
Oh yeah,
do it.
definitely.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant enough to escape in that case.
Argon, yeah, like as you summon him, he comes out of the kitchen, like balancing on his like stump, a tray, with some cups on it, and yeah, he brings you. He brings you also as well, like a cup with some very strong tea, so very strong herbs that have probably aged a while, and says, "Yes, I am present.
I heard
How
you
may I
released
serve?"
our prisoner without talking to us first.
Well, release is a big word. Yes, she was let go of her confines, but she was still within our control, of course. I wouldn't just merely let her escape the manor. She had no wish to.
If any of us puts someone within a confine, then they will remain so for as long as we desire.
That has been made quite clear at this point.
Yes. And just to make it further clear, we do not. In the future, we would not require servants who do not understand this.
Give me an intimidation check.
Sure thing.
Very.
Not the highest.
Say circumstantially, in his position of power. Yes, he slinks down. Like he goes flat on the ground. Yes, master. Please forgive me. I was not aware of my station. Even a general has hierarchy to follow.
As long as you understand.
What's Crow's impression like? Is Argon like very much so loyal, but just being Argon?
Just being
Give me a sense motive.
Yeah.
So perception check, secrets.
Yeah, at this point, Bullostion doesn't have the he doesn't actually care about the drink or something. If he sees Maya draw her dagger, or she'll also gets her feet and just starts walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I would grab the striking dagger.
I kind of ask you, it's you wish to actually fight hand to hand, but simply kill her from beyond the bars.
I would like to have some fun first.
We should probably make sure that we can raise her, because the body would be useful. She's in good condition.
Okay.
Walker, can you raise her immediately?
Not for a long period of time.
Would
How
you
long?
be able to preserve a body somehow?
No.
You need to. I don't think you need to have. The body doesn't need to be preserved for you to use animal create undead. You can just have a fucking corpse and create undead.
Yeah, it would just obviously make a
Visually
difference
be-
in and how the
Yeah.
body is preserved, but stat wise it wouldn't
No.
make a difference.
I guess we can get her more preserved one some other time. Anyway, I wish to talk for a bit.
Just, I don't know. Put her on ice or something. There we have
Yes, ice would. Perhaps we can get some ice from somewhere here.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure get ice coffins.
We are not returning her to life. She does not matter if there is some rot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does look more regal though if her body is more preserved.
What's her name again?
Also kind of looks at himself, just these all does him is that what we are looking for?
No, I do not mean it that way. It's more as a servant. For servants, this is more relevant.
A chief servant. It's a rotten hat with blood coming out of the top.
Only when he's agitated. Normally, there's no blood spilling out.
Not spilling out, but it's bloody at the top.
But when he's yelling, yeah, there's some spurting. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But this will do just fine for me. Care about it.
Okay, Maya, you walk up to the prison gates. You see she's on her guard. You don't mind the token. That's the standard.
Yeah.
Token.
Did you you wait for us to come with you as well, right?
I mean, also I'll follow down. I said so. Standing.
Yeah, Crow would
What
also
time of day is it?
be around.
That's probably pretty late. Like late as in during the night.
Middle of night.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say
but still not
let's
like
say it's around
bedtime
2 a.m. or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
not
still
bedtime,
gonna
yes.
Perfect.
say evening then. Good evening, friend. As I look at her, and I'll cast charm.
Hey there. Okay.
As I look into her eyes.
No, we haven't visited.
No one has threatened her.
No.
Okay.
In a direct manner.
Yeah, she's crossed her arms, like kind of eyeing, like the weapon on your side.
She can't see the weapon through the door.
Oh no, okay, yeah, you're right, yeah. But she's eyeing
Is it
you.
a solid door, or has it got bars and grates?
I thought they were bars.
Let me double check. Oh yeah, so the door is solid, but on the side there are bars.
Yeah. Okay.
And no, you can see she does as you look into her eyes and this vampiric essence of you pierces into her very soul, like her arms drop to the sides and says with a smile, "Hey."
Hey, how did you convince Argon to let you out?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I thought that would be a nice opportunity for me to maybe get out while you guys were still away. But I mean, I'm sorry. That was pretty stupid of me. I mean, why would I want to get away from you? We're good friends, right? We struck it off. We made a deal that I have no longer any attachments to the three-fingered hand gang, and you see she has balled up the cloak and thrown it in a corner.
Yeah.
And no harm, no foul.
Of course. But I just found it so curious as I no, I won't do that. I will let him do it later. So your words to him about wanting to be a servant here was a lie at that time, yes?
Yeah, you can just give me a diplomacy check.
I'm trying to kind of trick her into saying this because.
Okay, you can use deception if you want instead. Yeah.
It's 9 both of them.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck! I use a hero point.
Fair.
Oh god, that's still
Time.
Yeah, well, he seemed to have big plans with the two of us. I didn't say no or yes. I thought I would see where the river flows. That's kept me alive so far.
I see. Well, it's too bad that a river's about to just end, isn't it? I turn away and Ostian, you may go ahead as I walk away.
Before that, you wanted to know. Yes.
I'm sorry?
Before you wanted to know what happened to the rest of the crew. I did try to convince them very much that to join us, but they refused. So
It's kind of like
Ostian and
drops her
thought
head.
they took them apart. Kepkida is dead though, and so is everyone else over there. from the higher echelons.
When Austrian is basically choosing some kind of like sharp bones from his bag to kind of look like kind of, you know, like that, you know, kind of just kind of weighing them up for like, you know, don't want to enforce too much trauma. And I guess like
And yeah,
It starts
I
floating
told
in
you
the
it would be hard to convince him. I was always the smart one.
Well,
And what is this? She kind of like eyeing like who she, you know, likes most
I'm
in this
just like
situation.
strut away.
Yeah, it's walking away, and then you know the skeletons
Well-
and half vampires standing there. And what is this? What does this mean for me? She kind of like starts backing away.
I think
from
at
the
that
door.
point Austrian is like,
Well,
there's been enough talking.
lying
and stuff,
is
right?
not lying, and deception against the would-be masters does not bode well for your future. And Crow walks out like slowly with a cane, like you know, very slow, like
Yeah, you hear like the
cane
taps of the cane every once in a while.
yeah,
fading
very
away.
very much like pulling the cane. As
Yeah,
he,
and I think
walks
like as
away.
that final line is said, I just start firing just like shards of bone like in her direction.
Okay, yeah. I mean, she does her best to avoid, you know, she's quite dexterous and agile on her guards, but like, yeah, so it takes a while, like a few minutes, but like there's no way for her to escape.
You minute.
What?
Yeah, like,
Windcaster.
well, I guess not a few minutes, yeah, but I'll say it takes like a minute. And she just like get battered further and further, like into the skulls behind her.
Paying that much attention. He's kind of like, you know, just mine is like flicking shards in her direction and just like.
The rest of you, like above, you hear like the screams slowly start getting quieter and quieter until also, even though you're not paying attention, you know, like the sound of sobbing
We should probably sound
dies down.
Cellar.
I float back all my shards with like the mage hand, so they're just a little bloody, but I put them back in my bag and then just.
Alright.
As we kind of like
Holy
listen
shit.
to the screams, Crow was like, we should probably soundproof our cellar.
That took a while.
Indeed, I didn't want
Yes.
to focus too much on my mind. It has been a long day. It was not necessary. And the two like soundproofing also sort of shrugs like we are the only house for considerable distance. Like we are, right? Like we're not close.
Yeah.
enough, but
Yeah.
It's more that I personally at least would not necessarily need to listen to that screaming all the time if I want to sleep, for say. And if we had visitors, maybe we do not want them to hear the screams.
Well, we don't need to torture anyone while we have visitors.
That
Yeah.
is fair.
I mean,
Good to
how
multitask.
often is this gonna happen? Are we making it a regular thing of dragging people in and having Austin shoot bone shards at them for 5 minutes?
Although you are.
I have no idea what a few show and tells.
I mean,
We go.
in that case,
We
maybe
didn't
we should
have a
find
future.
our methods of execution then.
Yes.
Maybe we need a specific spot. Turn a cell into executioner's platform.
We do have a torture chamber, but
Seems like a lot of work to move them to a different room.
I mean, of course, but I'm just, you guys would do that. I'm fine with you guys doing that.
I am fine with the screams.
Argon.
Yeah, that's heavier, but it's not gonna matter.
I'm gonna grab
I'll say that the door
my
to the
53
torture chamber is quite
gold from the
heavy and
smoking
thick.
chest.
So
Yeah, so yeah, if we really need to care, then we can move them to the northern room.
Argon.
you summon him, yes? Yes.
Just so you know, our prisoner has met their timely demise. We would like to keep the prisoner's corpse in their cell until we are ready to raise them to be a servant. Mindless one,
Okay,
as
he says,
originally discussed.
Of course, that is merely a setback. I understand.
Yeah. Are you looking for social company? Is that something you are looking for in a minded one?
I mean, I will say, she was, in my opinion, sharper wits, and These past few years have been oh so lonely.
Perhaps we can find a servant. We can get you help like that. She was too trashful, and lying is not something we want from a future servant. She did
Just
also
like,
fool you, just so you know. She was lying about wanting to join underneath you.
impossible. Well, I guess I'll go back to talking to the horse then. Yes, and he slinks off. Okay, sorry for that distraction, but it needs to be dealt with. I do want to get to a certain point in the session, of course. Is there anything you guys want to do? Like during some downtime?
I mean, like, Crow would definitely go for bank heist, like, as soon as, like, we recover for a day or whatever.
Unless Crow, like, straight up objects, Mai is going to more or less mention that she's just gonna use the striking rune on her Vassal sword. She doesn't really grow into much account.
Well, I propose that you then help me pay half the price of upgrading my gun to a striking rune. Would you agree to this? I would also like to get a better equipment.
So you want me to pay for my own striking sword and half of your striking?
Oh, the moving of the rune isn't that expensive, correct?
Correct, but it would still mean I pay more than you.
In that case, I can also pay half of your, or we can reduce. I can also pay half of your moving of the rune. So we split the cost 50-50 in acquiring these two striking weapons, is what I propose.
I feel like denying you this will cause more troubles than it's worth. Sure.
Was 35 plus what was the reminder you calculated?
It's 35 gold, 7 silver, and 5 copper.
Cool.
I mean, if it's just lying around, I'll still take something, you know?
Yeah, just like put it on your skeletal ring finger.
And let's wait with the bank until we get them back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you order for the 2 runes. So you buy another striking rune with the funds. And
yeah.
Order them to be put on your great sword or the best sword and the gun.
Yeah, the gun.
With going to the the shop specialized in this, it would take 1 day for both the items to be ready, so you can pick them up the next day.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you guys do receive a handwritten short note from Minister Seymodget, thanking you for your for your aid, for rescuing him, and that he will assuredly let his superiors know of your deeds, and you guys get some reputation with the celebrants. Similarly, for rescuing Althimeret, you also get some reputation with the Exports Guilds. And
Nice.
later on, in what would be your guys' evening for that day, you also get a summons, a stamped letter. So you have to open up the seal, and it is from the High Governor of the city, called Tef Gekta Seven Stomachs. He describes in this letter that he has heard of your recent accomplishments and that you are to dine with him the following day, along with your benefactor, Berlina Haldoli.
So what is the general... Berlina has like the true power in the city, right? And this mayor guy is the official head of the city, correct? That's kind of the basic gist of things?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Like the blood lords in general have like a certain authority in the entirety of Geb, and then that's above mayors in general, I'm guessing. And then just Berlin just happen
Yeah,
to live in this city.
If you wanna
so.
try and know more, you can roll me a society check.
Society. Do I have any society? I don't.
Probably
I
not.
lived in the forest. I don't have any fucking society.
Grow has 0 society. It's the shittiest check he has with athletics and
Alright.
crafting.
No one knows anything about the town jackal also.
Yeah, you're not sure. You know that Berlin mostly governs, her farms, and the reanimators. She is the head of the reanimators in this part of the country.
Wait, I
and
have
the
this
governor
thing.
definitely runs the day-to-day.
Yeah, oh, wait, I have historical law. Let's see what historical law brings us. Something very, some very juicy details.
Okay.
Oh, that rolls public, excellently. That's
Yeah,
not a correct
reroll,
roll.
please. In your gatherings of information at the various dark bars and taverns around town, you've heard the whispers of definitely that the Bloodlord has this governor by all the Bloodlords basically have the governor by the balls. The governor of the city is you hear rumors they're elected by like a secret council of Bloodlords and put into power. This Seven Stomachs, this governor has been in power for a long time, 10 years. So like throughout the resurrection of Gab himself, for example, he has remained. People are quite confused on how he has survived this long, because truly, while he does run the day-to-day administration, like he has no power compared to like the Bloodlords. So Berlin would definitely outrank him in that regard.
Okay.
And that is for the following day's dinner, accommodating for the nighttime schedule of
Will
most
that be
residents of
before or
Greydarch.
after we get our weapons?
That will be shortly after.
Shortly after. Thank you.
So we can kill him.
So then we take our weapons and probably go for dinner, and then we go with about bank. Right. I don't think we have time to rob a bank in the meanwhile.
No.
Oh,
Dude, we can always do it later.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
Bank will not
Planning that.
move.
yeah, exactly.
Especially this one because we
It's
have
not
the
robbing
keys.
when you have the key, but it's just...
Yeah.
Empty.
We have the key and we have the deed
Making
for
a
it.
withdrawal, yeah.
Standard control.
So do you want to do the bank today, or do you want to do it another day?
We're doing it after we get the weapons or after the dinner.
After the dinner.
At the very least. Yeah. Because we want our striking weapons before we go there.
You head over into town to pick up your weapons. Now gleaming with a new rune, the power emanating from them. I'm assuming Ocean and Walker, you can't and don't change much about your attire. Micro, do you do anything special for this dinner with the High Governor?
Crow generally is wearing good-looking clothes. Like he started with fine clothes, so he goes with his fine clothes.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, he definitely has them
Certainly.
clean, has them clean and whatnot. But
I'll
he
leave
always
my
goes with
giant
fine
bag of
clothes.
skeletal bones at the place, I guess. I don't pick my favorite ones with.
Okay, yeah, you look in the mirror, you're like, should I use this collarbone or this one? Yeah.
Wait, it's actually the next day, right? So it's like we've got all our level of stuff, like we've had a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Exactly.
there's especially some bones he's keeping.
I don't really have anything fancy. I'll just polish my armor.
I mean, your armor can be a fancy option.
I guess I could just wear like underneath. What kind of armor is it underneath?
It's underneath pooping.
Of course. Oh my god, I didn't level up, did I?
Level up, you silly.
Uh-oh.
I totally forgot to also
do.
do this, but I have been kind of thinking about the options.
I put it to 4, right?
You can't play and then think about the options. What happens? What?
I've been thinking about the options. I'll choose later what I pick.
It was mainly with the whole the archetypes things for me. And then I forgot about it. Of course. Nah, it's easy.
Okay, and
yeah.
you choose to go into your almost like military outfit of the Under Armour.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an acceptable choice for sure. And you head over afterwards to the residence of the governor Tafgekta. Crow, you know that you've learned that each newly appointed high governor has the right to select any structure in Greater as their home, like Prima Nocta style. And Tafgekta has made the unusual decision to live in an old fortress made largely of bones, with two massive spires that rise above the nearby buildings. You guys have walked past this before. It's in the governor's quarter, and you know that the building is much more decorative than defensible. But Corey, you have also heard some whispers that maybe there's a secret underground complex for when the people in charge need to secretly run or transport
It's an
themselves.
escape route.
But that's actually a quite viciously shut down rumor. Yeah, so you head over towards this high-spired building, and you are led into this mansion by two dour-looking ghouls, and you're being led the way through narrow passages and down stairways to a chamber well below surface level, well below the streets, until you find yourself in a hallway. Waiting for you is Berlin. She is dressed in a fancy-looking red dress with a very ostentatious headpiece, like very long, almost like Pope-like, carrying along her cane with the pig's head on it. And as she looks on you, she waves away the two ghouls and says, "Oh, I'm glad I could catch you before the actual buffet. I figured I should talk to you privately." She leads you to a small side room, like someone's office basically, with an empty desk. But it doesn't sit down and just says, "Now, it's quite remarkable how in your short, partnership with me, you've already gained so much political, I wouldn't say influence, but regard. You've certainly made waves. So, well done, I would say."
Thank you.
Concerning the guest who left with me, she was very useful indeed. First of all, as I guess I'll call her a bargaining chip for the Expert Guild. They were very desperate to get her back, and before she could be put under any intense interrogation. Luckily, she was quite receptive. Not much prodding was required. So, yeah, we definitely got the better out of that deal. So, as the first time, I believe, I can actually thank you in an official capacity as a reanimator. And she pulls out a sack and puts it on the desk.
What? Sorry, a sack.
A sack.
Oh, sack. Oh, a sack.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like like a bulging sack. Yeah.
Bro takes a look at the sack.
a bulging sack.
Bro takes the sack and has a look-see inside what's in it.
Okay, you pick it up. You see that on the front is a very intricate logo, a more detailed version of what you know to be the Reanimator's symbol. It's like a hand coming out of a grave, holding a winged sword. And you open it up and you try and you put your hand on, but it seems to be empty. But then you realize there's nothing there. Like you put your hand in, you feel no edges, no cloth, and almost like Mary Poppins style.
Can I roll to know if I know about that this kind of magical packs that I think everyone here knows what it is?
Sure. Yeah.
Blind GM roll.
Yeah, this is a very practical, very it's not very common, but it is very much in desire. This is a bag of holding.
Well known.
Very well
Of
known, yes.
holding, huh? That is indeed a useful item to have in our possession.
I imagine with how many raids you have been doing around town.
Yeah. And generally
With-
transporting anything.
I'll say with this presence, it does come a warning. As I said, you've gained some attention, so I wanted to inform you, be careful. You are part of the big leagues now, and while I can protect you to some extent, I can't from everything, and I don't particularly wish to stick my neck out. I'll say, Crow, you have an acrobatic sense about you, and I would advise, if nothing else, to do some or most of the talking. But this governor, he could be a bit dour, so be prepared for that.
Very well. Thank you for the kind reminder.
No problem. Now, are you guys hungry? For a
Food is
feast?
always good. Food is always nice to have.
Yes.
Come on, Ocean. Hungry for knowledge, remember?
Yeah, Daddy says. The reanimators. I am thankful for this gift. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a little bit of a lie. Yeah, maybe I have a little bit of deception to see. But he says, but I wish from the reanimators, the only thing I truly desire, would they be able to find out how or why something reanimated myself? Is it possible?
Well, that's certainly our field of expertise. I think it would be wise for maybe we schedule this for a little appointment to see what we can find out. But I don't give any promises. You look quite old, and she kind of like leans in and like
Feel
it
it.
almost like dusts off some some bone dust. Do you have any sense at all of how or when you were reanimated?
Not, but I start to see, I believe, flickers of my old life. When my brain is strained, I hear voices, see figures. Kind of frowns, snow.
That is unusual. For the first time, she kind of like gives it a serious think. Maybe we can get something out of this as well. Sounds interesting. But really, obviously you've gained sentience. You are aware of the passage of time, but you have no idea of how long you've risen, how long you've walked. Ballpark it, if anything.
I only remember several weeks into the past.
And
Beyond that, I do not know how long I lay.
I see. Oh well, then it should be easier. Alright, well, we'll deal with that another time. But for now, we shouldn't let the governor waiting.
No.
Yes, and as a final, as she steps out of the room, she like clinks canes with you, Crow, and asks you to follow.
Oh, we shall.
Yes, she leads you to an impressive double door leading into a dining room But you can clearly see, like from the architecture style, the stonework. This was once a ossuary, like almost like a mausoleum, and a long table is presented with a fine meal laid out in the middle of the chambers. Around the table are like comfortable cushioned chairs. You see on the table, presented as the main part of the buffet, a quite unusual meal. It is a giant reconstructed cow that, as you walk around it, you recognize to be Morshkuda, the boss cow that you had found on the farm. It's still like clearly zombified, and the strong smells forming in your nose means that probably these chefs did everything they could, like, to stop the cow from smelling as badly as it did. But it still doesn't look very appetizing to most, probably. Other than that, there are like more, normal dishes presented around. You do see a table that is clearly translucent, like a little side table, with like translucent, like a bottle of wine with some glasses present on it. Yeah, they look incorporeal, as was similar to Walker. And on the head of the table sits a ghoul. As he stands up, is obviously quite tall, but also very heavy set. You think the name Seven Songs is kind of a title, but it also clearly refers to his physical stature, as there's like multiple chins. You see the sharp teeth and the long tongue almost get squished together a little bit as the cheeks are round, and while he is quite simply dressed, there's an aura of like authority coming from him. But as he stands up, you also at first you believe he has like a terrible arthritis or something, like terrible back pain. But he seems just have terrible posture, with the shoulders slumped, and you would know this in fact to be Tafkaila Seven Stomachs. Let me give you some art for him.
You got that simple clothing, Jacko. My God, you're fancy. That simple clothing, he's got some muffs.
Yeah, well, yeah, he does have like the high collar, like purple vest, but other than that, it is quite probably appearing to like trying to be slimming, but not really succeeding, as the god is protruding. Yeah, probably by commission. Crow, as you are investigating this weird translucent table with the wine on top of it, you clearly see that it is in fact an illusion. There's some sort of illusion magic that was provided here, conjured up, and but yeah, this gentleman stands up and says, "Greetings, thank you for obliging me," and sits back down almost immediately, and just with a heavy arm points toward these seats around the table.
I take a seat.
Thank you. Thank you. High Commander is the correct title, right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, High Commander. Of course, we will come when requested.
Yeah, he's kind of like almost feels a little bit inward, a little like dour, like Berlin said, quite kind of short in his greetings. Shortly after, there is a ghoul servant that pours some wine for those that want it. It is for Walker, you would recognize it. Crow, I believe you would as well. This is ice wine from Alkenstar, a very desired vineyards that Gab heavily imports because it's not quite strong enough that get a lot of the effects of the alcohol, but there is a sense of like a dulling of the mind, a kind of a drug effect. And you know that these vineyards are come from the manor wastes and have a very specific like process of cultivating.
We do actually only have a +1 to resisting alcohol compared to living people. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, as a PC, you know, you're a little more effective.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
so weird.
yeah, you're
I just refuse to believe
you have more of a sense
Yeah.
of the adventuring life. Yes, and as the dinner gets underway, Berlin is happily chatting away, but the governor raises a hand and says, if you please, I gathered you for a specific purpose. I wish to ask, face to face, these splashes you've made around my city, could you explain yourself? I wish to hear from the horse's mouth what you have done and why. Why have you made these troubles? As he regards me for a brief moment and then goes back to his food, trying to
Okay,
give me a moment to talk.
Crow gives a look to like Berlin, like how
She
does
kinda like-
what? Yeah.
Yeah, you share a look. She rolls her eyes, and but says, you know, he just does a like a hand gesture, like, go ahead.
Well, we have been investigating a matter of most dire consequences lately. There was attempted poisoning of the food supplies, perhaps even reaching this table. Luck would be if the luck wasn't there, and we were able to stop it. This had led to us multiple locations here in the city, as you have heard, and we were able to eventually get to the source of it and take them out.
Well, I have heard reports that you infiltrated the tunnels beneath the city, into the flesh halls of all things. You infiltrated the bank that was closed down. Was all this truly necessary?
Yes, it was. The trails we had led to these few locations at the time, and they led to more information. And that information led to finally to the bar, the brewery that we then raided and took out all the remaining head honchos of this organization.
Okay, give me make an impression check.
Impression check.
Yeah, as dinner's been going underway. Walker's not here. I'm assuming Tom can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Impression
Walker-
is public, right?
It is,
Make an
yes.
impression publicly.
Okay, let's see how this rolls.
Walker, yeah, this
Ooh.
translucent table of wine has been laid out for you, seemingly. There's no other ghosts there. Tasting the wine, it is, like you can pick it up yourself, pour a glass. You're not familiar with the magic that's causing this, and it's not quite as refreshing as the magical essence that Berlin had prepared for you earlier. But it does. It seems like it brings you back to, like, you know, when you were alive, when you had a glass of wine in your hand, and it would, you know, go down. Yeah, it's a quite nice effect. Wow, Crow, that's a fucking 30. All right. Out of interest, do you keep it like short and brief, or do you like go into like detail on
Crow
what exactly
goes for
happened?
short and brief,
Okay.
and as few details as possible.
Gotcha. Yes, in response, the governor looks up for a bit and says, "Why? I surely wouldn't accuse you of making troubles." Kind of like eyes Berlin. I merely wanted to hear from your own, in your own words. Very well. And yes, Berlin is very cheerful. She says, "Well, they did whatever was necessary to make sure that the citizens were protected, and this matter was dealt with as soon as possible. I speak quite highly of them. And yeah, she seems very bubbly about your activities in general. Yeah, then they're like almost like goes into a little bit more of a small talk. Maybe you have some chats with Berlin Ocean about your how your mind functions. So a little bit surface level, but maybe getting into like what separates you from the regular skeletons that she's more familiar with. When suddenly the double doors burst open and in rushes in like another ghoul. This one is very. He looks quite urbane. You would say, like he has this imitated hair that look like entrails, like very pink, like strands. Thickly, he wears like a quite immaculate vest with silver studded pieces on it, and he wears like these spectacles that give like the glowing green eyes like a sheen to them. But yeah, he rushes in, mouth agape, like the long thin tongue, like going wildly around, and he's followed by these ghouls that also escorted you profusely apologizing, saying like, I'm sorry, we couldn't stop him. But the ghoul in front is yelling like, I demand to speak with the governor. I am Vaskish Quicktongue, member of the Tax Collectors Union, and I must have an audience at once. Yeah, I'll give you some art for him, because he looks quite interesting.
Okay, good.
Here we go.
Wow, that's quite the look.
They have a style. Otherwise, like, those are worms in their head, right?
They're meant to be entrails, right?
Yeah, they're meant to resemble entrails. You're not quite sure how he has achieved this effect, but they look quite thick and flesh.
Like how he makes food without biting your tongue, it's impossible.
Yeah, the
Ghouls always had like fucking. Sorry, I didn't know ghouls always had like eyes, like this kind of glowy shit. It's kind of interesting.
yeah, the necromantic energy is quite strong. Out of interest, the governor is a ghoul, but he is a ghast, which is people familiar with that would know that they are more powerful versions of ghouls.
More advanced undead.
Yeah, more advanced, yes. Yeah, but he rushes in. The governor waves away his assistants and says, "Oh, this is quite unusual, but I see you're in a rush. Speak your piece briefly." And the Veskish, in a very rushed manner of speaking, says, "Well, I've come from Mekatar, from the tax collectors. I've been here in Craters for months, reorganizing, maneuvering, in order to reopen the bank. And what do I hear now? There's been violence there? Unacceptable!" Berlin and the governor both look at the group of you, giving you a chance to speak up if you wish.
What?
Nobody takes a chance.
Yeah, if no one else speaks up,
Crow will like
okay,
after
Crow says
a second. It's like, yes, there were some very threatening individuals had assaulted your bank, and we went after them. What of it?
And under what authority? Unlawful entry of our property?
Yes, there were this group of thieving individuals who were part of a bigger plot, and they were using your bank for their own purposes. Have been using for some time, it seems. Possibly. We weren't quite sure of the details. But we dealt with that was part of our bigger investigation that happened, what's happening around the city.
Yeah, you see the Faragul's eye you with anger and intensity. He now, especially with the governor spitting from his mouth. This is unacceptable. If there were problems in the bank, we would have dealt with them, as is our right. Who are these citizens in order to infiltrate our property? And the governor's, no. Let's be a little more calm about this matter. If the tax collectors union wanted to protect their investments, they should have done more to protect the assets. I will not punish these individuals for your mistakes. Yes, and the ghoul is kind of like at a loss for words right now. He's kind of like looking around to see who he can appeal to.
Crow
If she doesn't-
like looks at Mai and like shakes his head on like.
Yeah. Mai is kind of looking at her with a kind of mocking smile, but doesn't. If she doesn't keep shouting at them that she requires compensation and stuff like that, then she doesn't say anymore. She heeds.
Okay.
Gross.
Yeah, the governor then does speak up and say, but if I have my permission to reopen the bank if you so wish, the paper will be dealt with afterwards. There's no matter. Now please, exit my premises. And the ghoul, still like, obviously infuriated, gets dragged away by the assistants at this point. Yeah, the chambers go back to a sense of quiet, and the governor, where was I? Oh yes, it kind of eyes Berlin. Thanks for what you have provided for City of Graders. I suppose a reward will be in place. And he waves a heavy arm, and in gets brought a very thin wooden case that gets set on the table in front of your side of the table.
Is Berlin on our side as well?
No, Berlin actually sits like opposite this long table, quite far away
so
from the
at the
governor.
other end. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess like if no one else goes for a crow, starts opening the case, like glances what's inside.
Okay. Yeah, you see a long, thin, looking staff. You see like engraved or like these patterns of waves collected in a manner to resemble like a physical brain.
Like a wizard stuff kind of stuff in that sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah, it's made out of wood, like very, very nice polished dark wood motif. Reminiscent of the folds of the brain is engraved on them.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you take it out. It's quite light, but you could hold it in two hands. Quite well.
Most excellent looking stuff. It will come to great use. And he puts it back in the casing.
Nice, yeah. As the governor is the only one partaking in the meal of the cow, the zombified cow meat, seems to be quite enjoying it. As he's like, getting into like his third steak, because have you done your other business with this group? And he kind of looks at Berlin, and Berlin speaks up and says, well, if I gather correctly, usually dinners or like such as these aren't quite your thing. Everything that needed to be discussed was, and she like gives stares at the governor. Let's say if you wish to depart, I'll allow you to. Unfortunately, no dessert.
Is this like
She
more
says
like,
that towards us. That we're
Towards
all
you,
okay.
yes.
is
Yeah.
that so? Like, would the
She wants
way-
us to leave for sure.
She
Yeah,
does.
she
She
wants
wants
us
us to be
Of
right.
course, like yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone's like, this is a good time to leave, you're like, yeah, probably.
Well,
Maybe
Anyway,
not.
Sean at least immediately gets to his feet.
Yeah, I'll
shut
grab
up,
the
man.
case, being the stronger person in the group, you know.
Hey, now,
That's your
yeah.
part.
Yep. Um,
Berlin.
until next time.
Yes.
Always
until
nice.
next time.
Let me walk you out. And she joins you towards the towards the,
I
the double
would,
doors.
if she is like leading us out, I would say in a hushed tone towards Berlin, if you got to choose, would you prefer the Builders League or the Tax Collectors?
I would. Difficult question. I kind of hate them both, to be honest. But I would certainly put more trust on the Builders League. They are obviously quite needed in their services. They have knowledge, ancient knowledge, that the reanimators often rely on. And the tax collectors, I mean, it's just money business, isn't it? It's greed that gets in the way of actual important things. So yes, I would choose the Builders League. Why?
I
Perhaps we discuss this matter in a manner with where there's
you'll
no prying
find.
eyes.
I'm sure you'll. I just wanted your input. Until next time, always nice meeting you.
Yes.
Strange, I didn't think you were into the politicking of great factions. Again, be careful! As she heads back
Yeah,
into the room.
you did warn us that we are in the big leagues now. Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
Very
Mai
wise indeed.
is visually happy about the fact that the Builders League was the thing she said.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, please, you. Yeah, the dinner didn't take that long. All in all, with the conversation was interrupted by mostly the pace of eating of the governor himself. Yeah, you are escorted back out of the governor's quarters or the governor's mansion, and
Let's find a quiet place and talk. An
Manor
idea.
sounds good. I feel naked without my armor.
What's good?
The manor.
Perhaps. Okay, we are not in such a rush. Yes, we can go to the manor.
Besides, and I say it like so. Only for the party. Like with the tax collector's return, it's clear that they are at the bank at this time.
Yes, it was about that matter. I have an idea how to deal with that.
Oh, what a surprise! So do I.
Yeah, I believe we might have the same one. Let us discuss this upon our return.
okay. Yeah, you return to the manor in the dark of nights.
Yeah.
So I take your idea is, or at least mine, is that we indeed go with the Builders League, and that is what Berlin also suggested for us. She would probably appreciate us taking her advice. And
The
we give
question is
them.
whether or not we want to actually get on the good sides of the Builders League, or if we want to further our reputation with the reanimators.
I suppose we could go through the Renaminus there. The thing is, if we go directly to the Builders League, we have the ability to then negotiate what we need, such as the ability to go through the bank ourselves, whatever we wish, before giving it to them. This way, we can freely raid it, and no one will bat an eye about it. No need for stealth or infiltration.
Fair enough.
And
We need
also,
something to do before. We need something to do now anyway.
yes,
Before we.
and
I'm sure the hag will show up in due time.
yes, this way we also have our cards in multiple baskets than on just one of the reanimators. Although so far Berlin has been a very seems to be For Gap, trustable individual for our needs.
What happened is, more in conversation about politics and stuff. Assuming like Mai's placed down like the case somewhere, or like
Yeah, I like place it on top of this desk or
Ostion
something.
like kind of lifts up the staff, with mine and
Okay.
examines it.
Yeah, Ostion, you grab it. It feels, even though it's wood, it feels quite cold. But going over like these brain patterns, this thing connects to you on a level, and you figure out this is a mentalist staff.
I am pretty mental.
Specializing in like the psychic, the telekinetic. It allows you to cast spells such as Daze, Mind Link, and Phantom Pain.
That's pretty something. Yeah.
Ooh, mine looks cool.
Ostion, kind of like floats it towards his hand, then like holds it. Doesn't say anything. He just kind of takes it.
Okay.
That did look like an Ostian symbol, Austin. Could you care to
Oh
share us
yeah,
what
and
it
this
does?
you supply charges to staffs, in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Could you, Austin, tell us what it does, just out of curiosity, so we can better use the information for planning?
It will allow me to cast further spells, create further magics. Create the ability to damage the mind.
Useful to break someone, possibly more than just physical pain.
Austin just kind of nods, and just kind of kind of lies it down on like his bony legs.
Yeah, I'll
Out
say.
of curiosity, because I looked up the staffs.
Mhm.
I guess this is gonna be with staffs in general, because I'm guessing they generally look the same. If you have like a greater or major one, do you also get the spell slots
Yes.
or the spells alternatives of the
Yes.
higher one? Yeah,
Yes.
or lower.
It's greater ones add these, they don't remove the lower ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, you have a +2 circumstance bonus to identify mental magic.
It's true.
Okay, so I'll say, as you guys are like back in the manor, maybe going your own ways for a little bit. Ostion, you have this staff with you. You're going over your collection of bones and looking back at this, talking about the previous experiences, about when you woke up in this cave. You almost like Shakespearean Macbeth style. You hold up aloft this skull, looking back at you. To an untrained eye, not much difference between your two faces. But as you're holding the staff, you feel in your hands a energy that gets poured into the skull, and for a moment you see, similar to when Ostion wakes up, or for example when he's woken up, like this dull glow in the eye sockets, this dull green glow before they fade away again. In the skull in your hands, you see the dull grey glow before it fades back out, and you hear a voice as the jaw opens up. Why hast thou summoned me? And I think we'll end there.
Yeah, I zoned out really quickly. Where did the skull come from?
One of the ones Ostion is always got around it.
It's in this collection of
Okay.
bones.
Interesting.
Oh, that's why Tom was around for any of this.
Yeah, right. I guess he had to leave earlier than he expected to. I don't know.
Yeah.
We now officially have concluded book 1. Congratulations. You've done it.
So, are the rest of the bank stuff technically in book 1 though? Like we went through there to rate it. Would that be technically in book 1?
Yeah. You could go back, of course. Like the locations are still there. Yeah. But like the main story, I would say,
Yeah. Beautiful. Anyway, good.
Did you like
Most
hear what
importance.
happened in the session?
I assume not.
No,
If it was
was not
that
able to
session.
focus on it.
Okay,
No.
Oh, no.
Alright,
Sorry.
If you,
Sorry, like I
enjoy
just
writing out.
Jacko, post a VOD for him. He has to watch it, okay? It's his homework. You just
Yes.
Yeah,
just
sure.
at last like half an hour, force him to watch it.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
I
Alright,
don't
Okay.
do the easiest way to do it. Yeah.
have a good
See, we have some hour left.
There's a
over.
lot of
Double
plots.
timing.
twisted in.
I'm
See
sorry.
you all. Have a good time.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.
Yeah, boys.
Goodbye.